Mother's Day, I'd like to honor my mom because of the influence she has had in my life. She led me to the Lord when I was 5 years old. One day at home, as she was ironing clothes and I was playing in the floor, I started asking her questions about Jesus. Well, she took the opportunity to explain to me what John 3:16 says, that we are all sinners, but that Jesus died for our sins because he loved us. If I would admit that I was a sinner, ask forgiveness, and believe in him, I would be his child and would go to heaven when I die. And I wanted to do that. I wanted Jesus in my life. Well, soon after that, I started taking piano lessons from our church pianist, Vivian Bell. My mom made me practice every day for as long as my teacher told me I needed to practice. And of course, I would try to get out of it, but she didn't back down. So 9 years of lessons and practicing every day, I learned to be pretty proficient. Then as a freshman in high school, I was playing for school chapel and choir. And at that time, I was asked by a friend to start a rock band with her. Well, that seemed pretty interesting to me, but also at that time, my friends were starting to dabble in alcohol and marijuana and promiscuity. And I would go to parties, but I felt very uncomfortable. That is not where I wanted to be involved. But I was interested in the rock band. But then God had different plans for me. That summer, after my freshman year, I had an accident. I nearly cut off 2 of my fingers on my left hand. My parents rushed me to the ER, and a pin was inserted in each finger, and they were stitched up. And my first question to the doctor was, will I be able to play the piano again? And the doctor said that he didn't know. And so at that time, my world was spinning. And as I was going through this ordeal, I prayed to God that if he would allow me to be able to play again, I would use my music ability for him. Well, so then began my journey of waiting and doing what I could. I played with one hand from my mom's Sunday school class, and the kids, they just sang along. And then eventually I would add my left thumb so I could add some bass and rhythm. And then eventually I got to where I could play with the bad fingers, but they just weren't as agile, and they still aren't. But then I wanted to be a music teacher, and so I went to a Christian college. I went to Calvary Bible College to earn a degree in music education. I was able to give a piano recital. That was pretty amazing for me at that time. And I continued to faithfully attend church and serve the church by playing the piano. And somehow I ended up as a music director here at Open Door Baptist Church. And I can only say that that was God directing my path. Well, I look at the scars on my fingers and I think they are ugly. But then I also look at them and it's a reminder of God's faithfulness, because he placed me right where he wanted me. As I've surrendered my life to him, he has led me in places that I could never have imagined. So back to my mom. She continually tells us how God has been so faithful to provide for her in her life, and she is content with everything that she has. And she also tells everyone that she has the best kids, the best grandkids, and the best great-grandkids. So I want to pass on what I've learned from my mom. God has been so faithful in my life. He's provided everything I need, and I'm content with that. And I have the best kids and the best grandkids.